네, 안녕하십니까. 영어 쉐도잉 연습 131자 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. 네, 먼저 오늘 첫 번째로 따라해 볼 영상은 Another Shore Geneva 영상부터 따라해 보겠습니다. 네, 먼저 자막을 좀 가리고요. 보겠습니다.
Hi there, my name's Chris Americos, and
I'm here to talk about success.
I'm here to talk about success.
Work your ass off.
Work your ass off. I hate
Plan B.
Plan B.
Don't listen to the naysayers.
Don't listen to the lazy.
Everything I ever did,
Everything I ever did.
the thing that
The thing that I heard out of people's mouths was that's impossible.
that can't be done.
That can't be done.
Or no.
Or no.
And I didn't listen to those losers.
I didn't listen to those losers.
I didn't listen to them at all.
I didn't listen
I
to them
would
at
have
all.
listened to the naysayers.
If I would have listened to the naysayers from bodybuilding to show business to politics,
I would not be standing here
I would
today.
not be standing here today talking to you.
I would be in Austria in the Alps yodeling.
I've been Austria in the office, yodeling.
When someone says no,
So
this
if
is
someone says, no, this is a stupid idea, you in your mind, you don't have to say, but your mind, you just say this, but you're an asshole. What do you know?
At the age of 20,
At the age of 20, London, I went to London.
universe contest
I won the Mr. Universe contest as the youngest Mr. Universe ever. And it was because I had a goal. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you're going, if you don't have a goal of where to go, you drift around, you never end up anywhere. You got to have a purpose what you do in life. You got to have a purpose, have a vision.
Work your ass
Work your ass
off.
off.
There
There is no magic pill.
Muhammad Ali
Muhammad Ali
worked his butt off.
worked his butt,
And I saw it firsthand.
and I saw it
I
firsthand.
remember that there
I
was a
remember that
sports
it
fighter
was a sports
that
writer.
was there in the gym.
He was in the gym. He was doing sit-ups. He was working out.
How many sit-ups do you do?
And he asked him, how many sit-ups do you do? And he said,
I don't start counting
I don't start counting
until it hurts.
until it hurts.
But think about
But
that.
think about it. He doesn't start counting his sit-ups
until he feels
until
pain.
he feels pain.
That's when he starts counting.
That's when he starts counting.
That is
Working hard.
I went to
I
college.
went to college.
I
I
went
went and worked out 5 hours a day,
and
and I was working in construction.
because in those days in bodybuilding there was no money.
And in those days in bodybuilding, there was no money.
Supplements or anything.
I didn't have the money for food supplements or anything. I had to go to work. I had to.
Supplements or anything. So I had to go to work.
So I had to go to work.
So I worked in construction.
So I worked in
I went to
construction.
college. I worked out
Went to
in the
college.
gym
Worked
and
out
at
in the
night
gym,
from
and at night from 8 o'clock midnight
I went to
to
acting
12
class
midnight.
4 times a week. So
I went to acting class 4 times a week. Yes, I
all that.
yes I did
There
all
was not
that.
one
There was
single minute
there wasn't one single minute
that I wasted.
that I wasted.
And this is why I'm
And
standing
this
here
is why
today.
I'm standing here today.
And it drives me crazy when
And it
people
drives
say
me
that they
crazy
don't
when
have
people
enough
say
time
they don't have enough time to go to the gym
for 45
for
minutes
45 minutes a
a day and work out.
day and work out,
Or to do something for
and to
45
do
minutes to an hour.
or to do something for 45 minutes to an hour a day
If it is
to improve. If it is physical improve or if it is mental improve.
Imagine you
Imagine you
read
read 1
1 hour
hour a day
about history.
about history.
How much you
How
will
much will you
learn
learn after
365
365 hours
in 1 year.
in 1 year?
With
With
24 hours
24 hours
a day,
a day,
we
we
sleep
sleep
6 hours
6 hours
a day.
a day,
So it gives you still
so it gives you
18
still
hours.
18 hours.
There's someone shaking their head
There's
out
someone
here.
shaking head out here in front to say, Papa, I don't sleep 6 hours, I sleep 8 hours,
Or
right?
just sleep faster.
We just sleep faster.
But you can see how much time
But you can see how much time
is available.
there's
organize
available
your day.
if you organize your day.
So you got to
So you got to work
work hard.
hard.
You get it?
You get it?
Work like hell.
Work like
Go to
hell.
bed
Go to bed
early
early,
to rise.
or your
work like hell
eyes,
and advertise.
work like hell,
So you work
advertise. So
your
you
ass off, and then you
work
let the world
your
know
ass off and
about the work.
let the world know
That's
about
what
your
it
work.
is all about.
That's what it's
Let
all
people
about.
know if you have a company,
Let people know
if
if
you
you're
have
a
a
company,
movie,
if you have a
if you're
movie,
doing sports.
if you do sports.
Work your ass
Work
off,
your
but then
ass off and
advertise
then
and let everyone know.
advertise and let everyone know.
We have so many
You
of
have
those
so
people
many of
that
those
say
people
no,
that
that
say
you can't
no,
do
you
it,
can't
that's
do it,
impossible.
that's impossible.
That is okay
That is
because we just
okay, you
turn
just
off.
turn off.
When you start
When you
doubting
start
yourself,
doubting yourself,
that's very
that's very
dangerous.
dangerous.
Because now what you're
Because
basically saying is that
now
if
you're
my
basically saying
plan
is that
doesn't work,
if my plan doesn't work,
I have a fallback plan.
I
I have
have
a plan
fallback
B.
plan, I have plan B.
That means that you
That
start
means
thinking about
you
plan
start
B, and every
thinking
thought
about
that
plan
you
B, and
put into
every
plan
thought
B,
that you put into
you're
plan
taking
B,
away now
you're
that
taking away
thought,
now
that
that
energy
thought
from
and the
plan A.
energy from plan A.
It's very important
This is very
to
important
understand that
to
we
understand
function
that we
better
function better
if there is
if
no
there is no
safety net.
safety net.
Because plan B
Because
becomes a safety net. It
plan
says
B becomes
that if
safety
I
net. It says
fail,
if I fail, then I
and
fall
I get
and I
picked up
get
and I
the
have something else
picked
there
up
that
and I have
that
something
will
else
protect
there
me.
that will protect
And
me.
that's not good.
That's not good.
I'm telling you,
I'm telling you,
I've never
I've
ever
never ever
had a plan B.
had a plan B. I said I made a full commitment that I'm gonna go and be a bodybuilding champion. I made a full commitment that I'm going to be in
I
America.
made a full
I made a
commitment that
full
I'm going to
commitment
get
that
in the
I'm
show
going
business,
that
and
I'm
I'm going
gonna
to be
get
a
into
leading man.
happiness.
No
I'm
matter
going
what
to
it
be a
takes, I
leading
will
man.
do the work.
No matter what it takes, I will do the
I
work.
will do the work
I will do the
over
work
and over
over
and
and
over
over and over
until I get it.
until I get it.
To
To
me,
me,
it is very dangerous
it's
to
very
have a plan
dangerous
B
to have a plan B
because
because you're
you're
cutting
cutting
yourself
yourself
off
off
from the
from the
chance
chance of
where we're
really
succeeding.
succeeding. One of the main
The
reasons
reason,
why
one of the
people
main
want to have a
reasons why
plan B
people
is
want to have
because
a
they are
plan B
worried
is
about failing.
because they're worried
What
about
is if I
failing.
fail, then I don't have
What is if I
anything
fail,
else?
then I don't have anything else?
Well, let me tell you something.
Well,
Don't
let
be
me tell you
afraid of
something. Don't be
failing
afraid of failing
because
because there's
there's
nothing
nothing
wrong
wrong
with
with
failing.
failing. You
You
have to
have to
fail in order
fail
to
in
climb
order
that
to
ladder.
climb the ladder.
There's no
There
one
is no
that
one
doesn't
who
fail.
doesn't fail.
We all
We
fail.
all fail.
It's okay.
It's okay.
What is not
What is
okay
not
is
okay is
that when you fail, you
when you
stay down.
fail and you stay down.
Whoever stays
Whoever
down
stays
is
down
a
is
loser.
a loser.
And winners
And winners
will fail and
will
get up.
will fail and
Fail
get
and
up.
get up.
Fail and get
Fail
up.
and get up. You
Fail and
always
get up.
get
You
up.
always get
That
up.
is
That is
a winner.
a winner.
That is a winner.
That is a winner.
I failed in
I fell in
bodybuilding.
bodybuilding.
I
I lost the bodybuilding
competitions.
competitions.
I
I
lost
lost powerlifting
powerlifting
competitions.
competitions.
I
I
lost
lost
weightlifting
weightlifting
competitions.
competitions.
I
I
had
had
movies
movies
that
that
went
went
into
into
the
the
toilets.
toilets.
They were they were terrible. They got the worst reviews.
Hey,
Hey, we all lose.
We
We
all
all
have
have
losses.
losses.
This
This
is
is
why I say
okay. This is why I say
don't
don't be worried about losing because when you're afraid of losing, you get frozen, you get stiff, and you will not relax. In order to perform in well in anything, if it is in boxing, if it is in your job, or with your thinking, it's only happening when you relax. So relax. It's okay to fail. Let's just go all out and give it everything you've got. What that's what it's all about. So don't be afraid of fail. 네, 첫 번째 영상 잘 들었습니다. 네, 그러면 다음은 두 번째 영상 한번 볼 건데요. 두 번째 영상 오바마 영상 한번 보겠습니다.
저 혹시 이 보청기 끼고
이번에는
있었는데 보이셨나요?
밑에 전화를 보면서
But at the end of the day,
해보고 있습니다. The
circumstances
circumstances of your life, what you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, what you got going on at home. None of that is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying. None of it is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying.
None of that is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying.
None of it is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying. given a lot of subjects about education. I've talked about responsibility a lot. I talked about teachers' responsibility for inspiring students and pushing you to learn. I've talked about your parents' responsibility for making sure you stay on track and you get your homework done. And don't spend every waking hour in front of the TV or with your Xbox. I talked a lot about your government's responsibility for setting high standards, supporting teachers and principals, and turning around schools that are working, where students are getting the opportunities that they deserve. But at the end of the day, you can have the most dedicated teachers, the most supportive parents, the best schools in the world, and none of it will make a difference. None of it will matter unless all of you fulfill your responsibilities. Unless you show up to those schools. Unless you pay attention to those teachers. Unless you listen to your parents and grandparents and other adults and put in the hard work it takes to succeed. That's what I want to focus on today. The responsibility each of you has for your education. I want to start. I want to start with the responsibility you have to yourself.
Every single one of you has. I want to start with the responsibility you have to yourself.
I want to start the responsibility you have to yourself. I want to start with the responsibility.
Your education. I want to start with the responsibility you have to yourself.
I want to start with the responsibility you have to yourself.
Every single one of you has something that you're good at.
Every single one of you has something that you're good at.
Every single one of you has something to offer.
Every single one of you has something to offer.
You have a responsibility to yourself to discover what that is.
And you have responsibility to yourself to discover what that is. You have a responsibility to yourself to discover what that is.
That's the opportunity an education can provide.
That's the opportunity an education can provide. That's the opportunity an education can provide.
Maybe you could be a great writer.
Maybe you could be a great writer.
Maybe even good enough to write a book.
Maybe you're even good enough to write a book. Maybe you're even good enough to write a book.
Articles in a newspaper.
Or articles in newspaper. Maybe you're even good enough to write a book or articles in newspaper.
You might not know it. Maybe you could
But you might not know it. Maybe
be an innovator or an inventor.
maybe you could be an innovator, an inventor.
Or maybe even good enough to come up
Maybe even good enough to come up
with the next iPhone or the new
with the next iPhone or the
medicine or vaccine.
new medicine or vaccine. Maybe even good enough to come up with the next iPhone or the new vaccine or your medicine or vaccine. Maybe even good enough to come up with the next iPhone or the new medicine or vaccine.
But you might not know it
But
until
you-
you do your
But you might not know it until you do
project for your
a
science
project
class.
for your science
Maybe you
class.
could be
Maybe you could be a
or
mayor, a
or
senator,
a Supreme Court
or a Supreme Court justice.
justice. But you might not know that
But you might not know that until
you join student
you
government.
join student government or
No
debate
matter what you
or
want
the debate team. And no matter what you wanna
to
do with your life, I
I
guarantee
guarantee that you'll need an education to do it.
no matter what you do, with your life, no matter what you do,
And no matter what you want to do with your life,
no matter what you want to do with your life, no matter what you want to do with your life,
I
I guarantee
that you'll need an education to do it.
then you'll need an education to do it. I guarantee that you'll need an education to do it. You'll need an education to do it. I guarantee that you'll need an education to do it. No matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you'll need an education to do it.
You want to be a
You
doctor,
want to be a doctor, a teacher, a police officer, you want to be a nurse or an architect, a lawyer, a member of our military, you're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers. You're gonna need a good you're gonna need good education for every single one of those careers. Every single one of those careers. You're gonna need you're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers, every single one of those careers. You're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers. You're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers.
You cannot
You
drop out of
cannot
school
drop out of
and just
school
drop into a good job.
and just drop into a good job. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job. You cannot drop out of school. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job. You are not. You cannot. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job.
You've got to train for
You
it,
got to try
and
for it,
work for it,
and work for it,
and learn for
and
it.
learn for it.
This isn't just
And this is
important
just
for your own
important for
life.
your own life, your
You
own
make
future.
of your education will
This is just important for your own life and your own future. This isn't just important for your own life and your own future.
decide nothing less than the
When you make of your education, we decide nothing less than the future of this
future
country.
of this country.
When you make of your education, when we decide nothing less than the future of this country. When you make of your what you make of your education, we decide nothing less than the future of this country.
The future of America
The future of America
depends on you.
depends on you.
What you're learning in school today will
What
determine
you are learning in school today, the future of Korea depends on you. The future of Korea depends on you. What you are learning in school today
whether
will determine
we,
whether
as a
we,
nation,
as a nation, can meet
greatest
our
challenges in the future.
greatest challenges in the future. Greatest challenges in the future. Whether what you are learning in today, what you are learning in school today will determine
determine whether we,
will
as a
determine whether we as a nation
nation, can meet our
can meet our
greatest challenges in the future.
greatest challenges in the future. What you are learning in school today will determine whether we, as a nation, can meet our greatest challenges in the future. What you are learning in school today will determine whether we, as a nation, can meet our greatest challenges in the future. What mean what you are learning in school today will determine whether we, as a nation, can meet our greatest challenges in the future. Can meet our greatest challenges in the future.
You'll need the knowledge and problem-solving skills
You'll need the knowledge and problem solving skills. You'll need the knowledge and problem solving skills.
you learn in science and math
You learn in science and math
to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS,
to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS,
and to develop new energy technologies.
and to develop new energy technologies, and you develop and to develop new energy technologies, and to develop new energy technologies,
Protect our environment.
and protect our environment, protect our environment, protect our environment, and to develop new energy, and develop new energy technologies, to develop new energy technologies and protect our environment. You need knowledge and problem solving skills you learn in science and math class, and to develop uh, class to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS,
Diseases like cancer and AIDS. And
AIDS.
to develop new energy technologies.
and to develop new energy technologies
Protect our environment.
and protect
You'll
our
need the
environment.
insights and critical thinking skills
You need the insights and critical thinking skills
you gain in history and social studies
you gain in history and social studies
to fight poverty and homelessness,
to fight poverty and homelessness, to fight poverty and homelessness,
crime and discrimination,
crime and discrimination, to fight poverty and homelessness, crime and discrimination. You need insight and critical thinking skills you gain in history and social studies to fight poverty and homelessness, crime and discrimination,
and make our nation more fair and more free.
and make our nation more fair and more free, and make our nation more fair and more free, more fair and more free, and make our nation more fair and more free.
You'll need the creativity
You'll need a creativity and ingenuity
develop in all your classes
you develop in all your classes. You'll need a creativity and ingenuity. You'll need a creativity and ingenuity you develop in you develop in all your classes
to build new companies.
to build new companies to build to build new companies. You'll need creativity and ingenuity you develop in all your classes to build new companies.
Create new jobs and boost our economy.
That will create new jobs and boost our economy. That will create new job. That will create new jobs and boost our economy. You need creativity and ingenuity you develop in all your classes to build new companies. That will create new jobs and boost our economy.
We need every single one of
We
you
need
to
every
develop
single
your
one of you
talents
to
and
develop your talents and
intellect
your skills
so
and
you
your
can
intellect.
help
You can
us old folks
so you can
solve
help us
our
all
most
folks
difficult
solve our most
problems. If you
difficult
don't do
problems.
that,
If you don't do that,
quit on school,
if you quit on
you're
school,
not just quitting on yourself,
you're not just quitting on yourself,
quitting on your
you're
country.
quitting on your
I know
country.
it's not always easy to do well in school.
I know it's not always easy to do well in school. Easy to do well in school. I know it's not always easy to do well in school. I know it's not always easy to do well in school. I know it's not always easy to do well in school.
I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now.
I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now. I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now. I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now. I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now. I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now.
That can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork.
They can make it hard. They can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork. They can make it hard to focus on to your schoolwork. They can make it hard to focus on your. They can make. They can make it. They can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork. They can make it hard to
I
focus
know a
on
lot
your
of you have
schoolwork.
challenges in your lives right now
I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now.
that can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork.
They can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork. They can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork.
I get it.
I
know
get it.
what it's
I
like.
know what's like.
My father
My
left
father and my family when I was 2 years old.
I was raised by a single mom
who had to work and who struggled at times to pay the bills. I was raised by a single
A
mom.
single mom who had to work right now that can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork. I get it.
I
I
get
know
it.
what it's like.
I get it. I know what's like. I know what it's like. What it's like. I get it. I know what it's like.
My father left my family when I was 2 years
My father left my family when I was 2 years old,
old. I was raised by a single mom who
and I was raised by a single mom
had to work,
who had to work
struggled at times to pay the bills,
and who struggled and who struggled at times to pay the bills. I was raised by a single mom who had to work and who struggled at times to pay the bills
wasn't always able to give us the things that other kids.
and wasn't always able to give us and wasn't always able to give us the things that other kids had. The things that other kids had. I was raised by a single mom who had to work and who struggled at times to pay the bills and who wasn't always able to give us the things that other kids had.
They can make it hard to
They can
focus
hard
on
to
your
focus on
schoolwork.
your schoolwork.
I get
I
it.
get.
I know what it's
I
like.
know what's
My
like.
father left
My father and my family when I was 2 years old. I was raised by a single mom who had to work, who struggled at times to pay the bills, and was always able to give us the things that other kids had. I was raised by a single mom who had to work and who had to work,
Single mom who had to work and struggled at times to pay the bills,
who had to
wasn't
work
always able to give us
and who struggled at times to pay the bills and who wasn't always able to give us the things that other kids had.
kids had. There were times when
There
I
was
missed
times when I
having a
missed
father in my life.
having a father in my life. There were times that I missed having a father in my life.
That other kids had. There were times when I missed having a father in my life.
There were times when I missed having a father in my life.
There were times when I was lonely and I felt like I didn't fit in.
There were times when I was lonely, and I felt like I didn't fit in, and I felt like, and I felt like, and I felt like I didn't fit in. There were times when I was lonely, and I felt like I didn't fit in. There were times that I missed having a father in my life. There were times when I was lonely, and I felt like I didn't fit it.
So I wasn't always as focused as I should have been on school.
So I wasn't always as focused as I should have been at school. So I wasn't always as focused as I should have been on school. I should have been on school. So I was always as focused as I should have been on school.
And I did some things that I'm not proud of.
I did something I'm not proud of. I did some things I'm not proud of. I did some things I'm not proud of.
And I got in more trouble than I should have.
And I got in more trouble than I should have. And I got in more trouble than I should have. And I got in more trouble. And I got in more in trouble. And I got in more trouble than I should have.
And my life could have easily taken
And my life could have easily taken, and my life could have easily taken
a turn for the worse.
a turn for the worse, a turn for the worse. And my life could have easily taken a turn for the worse, a turn for the worse, a turn for the worse, a turn for the worse. Take a turn for the worse. My life could have easily taken, my life could have easily taken a turn for the worse.
But I was lucky.
But I was lucky.
I got a lot of second chances.
I got a,
and I had the
I got a lot of second chances. I got a lot of second chances. I got a lot of second chances.
opportunity to go to college and law school. I was lucky. I got a lot of second chances, and I had the opportunity to go to college.
And I had the, and I had it, and I had it.
But I was lucky. I got a lot of second chances, and I had the opportunity to go to college.
And I had the opportunity to go to college, to go to college, to go to college. And I had the, and I had the, and I had the opportunity to go to college. And I had the opportunity, and I had the opportunity to go to college. And I had the opportunity to go to college. And I had the opportunity to go to college, to go to college. And I had the opportunity to go to college,
Law school, and follow my dreams.
and law school, and
My
follow
wife,
my
our
dream.
First Lady, Michelle Obama,
My wife, First Lady Michelle Obama,
she has a similar story.
she has a similar story.
Neither of her parents had gone to college.
Neither of her parents had gone to college. Had gone to college. Neither of her parents had gone to college,
And they didn't have a lot of money.
and they didn't have a lot of money. And they didn't have a lot of money. And they didn't. They and they didn't have a lot of money.
But they worked hard, and she worked
But
hard.
they
so
worked
that
hard,
she could
and
go
she
to the
worked
best
hard,
schools in
so
this
that she could go to the best schools.
have a lot of money. But they worked hard, and she worked hard so that she could go to the best school.
She could go to the best schools, so that she could go. She worked hard so that she could go to the better. She could go to the better. She could go to the best schools
In this country.
in this country.
Some of you,
She worked hard so that she could go to the best schools in this country. She could go to the best schools in this country. She worked hard so that she could go to the best schools in this country because she worked hard. She worked hard so that she could go to the so that she could go to the best schools in this country.
you might not have those advantages.
Some of you may not have those advantages. Some of you have some of you might not have these disadvantages.
Maybe you don't have adults in your life
Maybe you don't have adults in your life
who give you the support that you need.
who give you the support that you need, who give you the support that you need. Maybe you don't have adults in your life. Maybe you don't have adults in your life who give you the support that you need. Maybe you don't have adults in your life. Maybe you don't have adults in your life who give you the support that you need.
Maybe someone in your family has lost their job.
Maybe someone in your family has lost their job,
And there's not enough money to go around.
and there's not enough money there's not enough money to go around.
Maybe you live in a neighborhood where you
Maybe you live in a neighborhood. Maybe you live in a
Don't feel
neighborhood
safe. Or have
where you don't feel safe. Where you don't feel safe. Maybe you live in a neighborhood where you don't feel safe.
friends who are pressuring you to do things.
Have friends who are pressuring you to do things. Pressuring you to do things. Have friends who pressuring you to do things
You know aren't right.
you know are right. Or have friends who are pressuring you to do things you know aren't right. Or have friends who are pressuring you to do things you know aren't right.
But at the end of the day,
But at the end of the day, the circumstances of your life,
what you look
what you look
like,
like, where you come from, how much money you have, what you got going on at home, none of that is an excuse for neglecting your homework or having a bad attitude in school. There is no excuse for talking back to your teacher or cutting start or dropping out of school. There is no excuse
for not
for
trying.
not
Where
trying.
you are right now doesn't have to determine where you'll
네. 네, 오늘 여기까지 하겠습니다. 네, 감사합니다.